Hi guys, it's that time of year, spring is in the air, the frogs are starting to hop around looking for other frogs to mate with, which ends up with thousands of frogs everywhere and a fantastic meal for all those surface feeding predators. It's my favourite time of year for surface action. Now, in the next 6-8 weeks, they're all over the water. Yes, you can catch on frogs at any time of the year. You know, pike will always come up. If they want it, they'll come up and they'll have it. But at this time of year, you can't beat fishing soft-bodied frogs on the surface. As the lily pads start to come out, as the reeds start to thicken up, chucking a frog weedless right into the back and just twitching it through where you can see every single movement. You can see those lily pads start to twitch, the nerves going up and down your back, your muscles in your arms, everything tense, waiting for that explosion as the pike just hurtles out the water. You just cannot beat it. For adrenaline action in the UK, it's got to be at the top of the list. So, what do you need to go frogging? Well, there's a couple of bits and pieces. To start with, you want a relatively fast-actioned, strong rod. I tend to go for something that's around about 60 grams and above because of the weight of the lures that I'm throwing, but also I want something with a nice medium to heavy action that can handle the strike, can handle the heavier braid, and can pull those big pike out of those reeds and out of those lilies. Now, the main thing when you're frogging is what's on the other end. Now, there's a couple of different styles of frogs out there. Two of my favourites at the moment, both have the places. Now, if I just run through, here's one of them. Now, this one, it's actually called the Sneaky Frog Evo. Don't know why it's called the Sneaky Frog Evo, but that's what it's called. Manufactured by Molex, really good quality. So what have we got? We've got a soft plastic body and we've got a single tail made up of lots of different strands, and of course the all-important double frog hook. Nice, solid, sharp hook at the back. Now, one of the main things that you need with a frog, because they're not all equal, is a good soft body that will crush all the way down when that pike grabs at it. All they're going to do is when they hit it, the body will compress all the way down. Now, you can do that with a lot of different varieties because the material is so thin, plasticky, and just not nice. The better ones all use a nice thick construction in the plastic, but it's soft, so as it's pliable, it squeezes, goes down flat. Now, with any of these style of lures, pike have got sharp teeth. There's no news there to anybody who's caught one before. So what is going to happen is the plastic body will get slashed, bitten through, battered, etc. I don't care. Sometimes that's an advantage because all you do then is dip it in the water, give it a squeeze, let go, and it sucks the water in. You've got that extra weight for casting distance. So please don't go worrying when you get your first few teeth slashes in them. If it gets too bad, bit of glue, hot gun, whatever your favourite method is with soft plastics, you can repair them and they will last. So, nice soft plastic, weight underneath so as they sit, good sharp hooks, and a nice single trailing, like a tassel-y type appendage out the back. Now that will just sit in the water. It's not all about massive action. You can just tap the end of your rod tip so as the frog will just literally just vibrate on the surface with this flashing about in the water, enticing. It's just a little bit of something extra. Nice big set of eyes on the front, makes it look good for you, the angler, as it's coming back in the water. Personally, I don't know how much the pike sees of that. They're coming at the silhouette. In my mind, that's the main thing that they're actually targeting. Now, that's the one style that I like using. You can be quite subtle with these. You can chuck it out onto the pad, edge it off the edge of the pad, and just little tiny taps with the rod tip just to move it slightly. You can give it heavier taps just to make it walk the dog, old school, all the way back. So as it's literally swishing the tail as it comes all the way back, up comes the pike, grab, job's a good one. When they want something to wake them up a bit, when there's a bit of chop on the water, when there's a little bit of colour on the water, when they want something that's going a bit faster maybe, but more clatter on the surface, then my go-to would be the Supinato frog. Now this one is a lovely looking little beastie. I love the look of these. If you can see, the actual legs are like little legs, and on the edge of them they've got lifts so as they're going to kick up far more water and far more disturbance, whether you're moving them slowly or whether you're moving them fast. You can straight retrieve, you can burn them over the surface. Legs are going, water splashing everywhere, pike is chasing. Or, as I would tend to do, again, get it onto the edge of that pad, move it about a bit, make that lily pad move in the water. They can't see anything yet, but they're looking, where's that vibration coming from? Then, as you literally tap your rod, get it to pop off the edge of the pad, it's swimming to the next pad, it's swimming to the next bit of sanctuary that it can find. But the pike has already clued up. It's seen that lily pad move, so it's ready. What's on there? It doesn't know. Next thing it knows, this little creature drops off the edge and starts moving across the water. If it's clear, you can see them actually following the lure. Slow it down, speed it up, stop, let it sit there, let it quiver on the surface, but get ready for when that pike comes up from underneath and just goes, grab, I'm having you. Now, a couple of things, when that fish grabs that lure, there are so many different ways that you can strike. Years ago, everybody used to say, bow to the fish. In other words, drop your rod tip all the way down, so as it gives pike time to bite in, swim away, then hit it. I've never really subscribed to that method. It could be luck on the day. Whatever it is, I hit them when they hit it. It could be my reactions are a little bit slower. Maybe they're getting that 2 seconds to really chomp down on it. But to me, when they hit that lure, as soon as I see them hit it and that mouth go over, as hard as I can, over my shoulder. This is why you need that slightly heavier outfit. This is not a method for soft, floppy, light rods. You've got to be able to hit it home, to strike that hook in. They're weedless for a reason, so as the hooks don't get caught up. You've got to hit them as they compress it, and you've got to hit them hard to drive those hooks home. You'll also notice, even though these hooks are sticky sharp, they're thick gauge. The reason for that is the pressure that you've got to put on the fish sometimes to get them out of the pads, the reeds, etc. It's not a place for light gauge, lightweight hooks. They've got to be strong, they've got to be sharp. Again, when you're looking underneath, you'll see there's that little round dot, it's a weight. So it'll always fish the right way up. The other thing with these frog baits, especially these Supinatos, is the back end is detachable. You can just pull it and unscrew it off. So you can replace it if the legs get chewed up. The other thing is, if you want something a bit different, you can take the back end off a shad, pintail, anything else you want, and try putting it on. At the end of the day, it's down to you. Different choices, different days, different methods. And I'll tell you something, it's good fun catching straight out the box. But when you've played with something or tuned it a little bit, it makes it that little bit special, and it makes it more about what you've actually done. But the main thing with frog fishing is get out there and enjoy it, because when that fish comes hurtling out the water and grabs that lure, there's nothing like it in the UK to get your heart pumping. So guys, get out there, get chucking these frogs and get catching those fish. Cheers.